Hi, I'm Paul Seal from codeshare.co.uk. Welcome to the second part in this episode 6 of this series where I'll show you how to build a website with Umbraco 13. In the first part of this episode, I showed you how to do the standard header and the rich text components, and I also went over the rich text editor config again. In the remaining parts, either this part or two parts coming up of this episode, we'll be looking at doing the image links, a call to action, the icon link, and the image with caption. So let's just talk about what they are first of all. So image links, let's just have a look. These are what we're calling the image links. So if you click on it, it will go through to a certain page. So they're the image links. And then if we go down again, we've got a call to action. So if we go back to the home page, this is the call to action row. So it's basically a title, some content. This is split into two columns, and then a link through to the episodes page there. So this is some title and content with a call to action to click on. And what else are we going to do? We're going to do the icon link, which is part of the call to action. And then we'll also do an image with caption as well. So let's see how much we can get through in this part of the episode. So let's get started then. We'll start on the image links. So for the image links, we need to create the document type in the Umbraco back office. Let me just get that up. So we log into our project, we go to the back office, go into settings, document types, components, block grid, content models. And it will be in here where we need to create our component. So I'm just bringing up the other project on my left-hand side, just so I've got that for a reference. So yeah, we're going to need to create an image link and an image links. So let's do that. So first of all, we'll create an image link, and that's going to have an icon, which is just going to be an image or a picture. That will do. And then we'll just call this image link. Okay, and we'll have a content tab for this. And in this, we'll have an image, which is pretty straightforward. So choose the image for this item. And then we'll just make that be the image media picker. Okay, and is that mandatory? Yes, it is. And then we will have a link. So enter the link for this element. And we're going to use a single URL picker that we've already created before. And this one won't be mandatory because maybe you just want the image and not the link sometimes. So I've had client requirements like that before, so we just leave that as how it is. So we'll click that and save. And then we want to create the image links, which will be like the container for this. So we'll create an element type and call it image links. And then this will just use, like, I don't think we've got multiple images. Or maybe we have gallery, images, pick. That will do. There we go. So image links, right. And then we'll just save that. So again, we created that as an element type. So we have our image links and we have our image link. So what we want to do now is we want to add that to our main content data type that we previously created. So we're going to data types, custom, main content, and then we want to add image link and image links. So first of all, we go into here, we click on add block, and then we find the block that we want to add. So image link for the first one. And with the image link, we want to allow it in areas. So we don't want to allow it in the root, just in the areas. But we do want to be able to resize it so we can have it at 4 columns or 6 columns. And we want to make it available in row spans of just 1 and 1. And then we don't have any areas for it. And later we will create a custom preview for it. But for now, we won't bother with the preview. We'll come back to doing the preview later. So we'll click on submit. And then we want to add the image links one now. So again, we'll do add block. We'll look for the image links, click on that, And so now we just need to make sure that this is configured properly. So we will allow it in root and allow it in areas. This one doesn't have any resize options, but we do want to create some areas for it. So we're going to have an area called title. And then we're going to have a create, the create button label will be add title. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself there. And then we will just allow the block type of title. Now we don't have that yet, so I'm just going to not add that for now. We'll just submit that and we'll drag it across, and I'll show you what we're doing with this in a moment. So then what we'll do now is just have an area called image links. Add image link. There we go. Add image links, and then the number of blocks we won't restrict that, but we'll add this to be image link, and then submit that, and we'll drag that across here. So this has got two areas to it, this particular element, the image links. So it's got a title area and then it's got the image links area. So let's just have a look at how that's working on the sample site that I previously built in order to be able to do this tutorial. So if we go over to the episodes page, we can see that we've got this. So it's got a title here, but now we're not using that title. Maybe on the home page we do use it. Yeah, popular pages. So we've got this title element that we can add, and then we can add these here. And it's an interesting way of using the block grid, but it means that you can like reserve certain areas to be able to add certain types of things in, rather than it just consisting of one area each time. That's why we've done this. So we're going to add a title block, and then we'll configure it to do all these. So let's just carry on. Submit that. We don't need to worry about the preview at the moment because we are going to be doing the preview later on. That will probably be the final part of this episode 6. Yeah, so we'll leave that for now. So we'll just do submit and then save. So the other thing what we want to do then is go back and create another content model, and that will be for the title. So click on this, go to element type and call it title. And in the title element, it's just going to be quite simple, but we will give it the option for a color. So we're going to say content here, and then we're going to add a property called text. Enter the title text, and then we will use a string, keep it simple. Is it mandatory? No. And then we will choose the color. So we're going to have a color picker again. And then we'll just say choose the color of the title and divider. So as you saw on that preview, that you could see that it was a grey title and divider. This defaults to the darker color if not set. There you go. So that means if you use it in an area where you could do with a white one, well, that's what we'll do. We'll give you two options for colors. So select editor. We want to have a look at the color. We've got brand colors. So we could do with another color picker. So this one's going to be called color picker, and then we will call it white or secondary. We do want to include labels, and the first color we're going to choose is white with the label of white. Then the second color we're going to choose is the one from the theme, the secondary theme. So we will just put the code in for that. So that is 2C3E50, and we're going to call that secondary. And then submit And is that field mandatory? No, it's not mandatory. So we'll submit that and save. So now we've got those two properties, the text and the color. And that's on the title. I'll just choose an icon for that. So I probably will struggle to find a good one for this. So I'm just going to look for one quickly. If I can't find a good one, I'm just going to have to pick one to be able to move on. Anything stand out for title on here? No, I can't see anything for title. So I'm just going to have to pick one. Right. Oh, there's nothing very good. It's awful trying to pick this on the spot. Anything for title? Can't think of a good one. Just use that for now. So click on save. So we have our title created. Now we can go back down to our block grid and we can add the title element. So components, block grid, content models, title. Again, we will allow it in areas, not in root. We don't need resize options, I don't think. Anyway, let me just double check over here. The title element, no, it doesn't have any resize. It will have a preview later. We'll create a custom preview for that. So we'll click on save and then we'll go into image links and we'll go into the areas and we'll have a look at title and then we'll allow that type. Title, submit that and save. So now we've got that in there. Let's have a look and see what happens when we try to add that to a page. So in the main content on the about page, we've got an image links and in here we can add a title. This is the title. Again, if you don't set anything, then it will just default to the secondary color, but then you can also set something. And for now, we don't have a preview, but we will coming up. So that has been saved. Now it's a case of rendering it out. How do we want it to look? So first thing we need to do is we need to go and create the image links one. So, and this one, let's just copy the rich text one for now and then rename it to image links. And then, oh, the other thing is we need to build the models. So I'm just going to go into settings, models builder, generate models, done that. Give that a rebuild and apply changes. There we go. Right, okay, and then we'll call this image links. So we'll save that. We'll come out of this file and go back in and it will be lit up because it will know about it. There we go. So let's start off over here then and we'll just do at and we'll put a bit of a code block in here. So we'll say const int and then we'll call this title area because there are going to be two areas that we're dealing with. Remember we had the top area which was title and then the bottom area which was the content area. So we'll do this content area equals 1. And then down here we're going to actually, what we'll do is we'll just get the HTML. So where we had the portfolio it is, we're going to take this and we're going to paste that in here, because remember, it's all about making the HTML dynamic. We're not making it up on the spot. It's all part of this build already. So the bits that's going to change are going to be this top part here is we're going to put in the title. So we'll cut this out, and then we can make one of these by clicking and dragging. That will make us a new one of these, and we'll call this title. And then in there we can put our code for that. Now, one thing that I left out there, if I undo this, I actually left out the divider part, so I'll just cut that out, put that into here, update this to be title, like that. And then if I go into the title on here, we've got our H2, page section heading, etc. And then we've got model.content.text. So at model.content.text. There we are. So that will put that title in. And then below it, we will have our dividers. And we've got our FA star. And then the only other thing we can do is as well, we can put in our colors as well. So let's just put a bit of code up the top here. And what we'll put in here is var text color class equals model.content color. If that's not null, then I want you to do the text dash and then model.content.color.label to lower. So we're using this, the name of that color, in the actual output. And the other thing to note is that if we can't get that, if it is null, then let's just move across a bit. If it is null, just use the secondary, because we did talk about that in the description of that field. So we'll just say actually use text secondary. There we go. So we just need the plus in here, and that will work. So what we're saying, I'll just delete the equals. So yeah, let's read that out. So the text color class is saying if it's got a color, if it's not null, then make the text color class be text plus the color. So we had white and we had secondary, otherwise fallback. And then what we can do is we can do the color of the divider as well. For divider color class equals model.content.color and then is not null, and model.content.color.label equals white. So for the divider color, if the color isn't null and the color is white, then we'll make the divider color be divider light. That's the bootstrap class, otherwise null. And you'll see why that's important later. So we've got those two settings there, so we'll need to use those. So first thing we do is after the text uppercase on this one, where it's got this here, we're just going to replace that text color class. Okay, and then where we've got this divider, we'll just do at divider color class. There we go. So that should work now. That should render out our title at least. So let's give that a whirl. And we'll go into the, I think it was the About page where we edited the content. Yeah, it was. So let's have a look on the About page. Right, we don't seem to have a template. So let's find out what we've done wrong on the About page. So we go to Solution Explorer. So the About page is using the content template. And as you can probably tell, we are not using the right thing. So let's have a look at this. And what we can do is we can copy this part here up to there. So it's tell it to use the main layout. And we want it to, oh, I like to put the inherits at the top. That'll annoy James. Anyway, we're saying use the main layout, and also when you do, render the header content and render the main content as well. So now if we reload, yep. So it's tried to render out the image links. The images are broken. If we have a look at that, we can probably find out why they're broken. So if we go to image links, yeah, so if we just put a slash in front of each of these images, I think that will fix it. There we go. So it's starting to take shape anyway. So what we can do is we can go to this, we can add the header element, we can put that in here. So that copy and paste of the header. Let's see, yeah, that's worked out the spacing nicely between the nav bar and these image links. So after that, what do we need to do? Well, we need to render out each of the individual image links and the title as well. So, because we're not actually rendering the title on this. So how do we render the title? So let's go back to the image links, and where we had, so we're on the image links. In here, we want to basically do an await HTML.get block grid item area HTML async, and we want to use model.areas.element at, and then we'll pass in the title area. So we're basically saying render this area first, and then inside this here, the portfolio grid items, we're going to render multiples of this. So I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to delete the rest. And save that. Now we need one for the image link. So I'm going to drag and move that. I'm going to rename that to image link. I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to change that to just be image link. So now each image link is going to render this, and it's just hard coded at the minute, but that's fine. So what we've got there is we've got the first area getting rendered. Copy that, and then we want to render the other area. So that will be the actual image links area. So get block grid item area HTML async model.areas, and then we had the title area, so let's copy the content area and put that in there. So we were saying first render the title, now render this. Let's see what happens. Before we had it hard coded in. Look, these were all hard coded. Let's see. Right, we're just rendering out the title. We're not rendering out the image links. Did we add any image links? No, we didn't. So let's add one then. So choose an image, and then the link we will do to the about page. And as you can see, you can drag the size so it can be either 6 across or a 4 across. So we'll get two on a row or 3. Let's pick some more media to upload. There we go. Make this one go to home. And then let's add another one. And what we can do is we can make that go to Google or Facebook, that's fine. Open in new window, submit that, create, save and publish. So now let's have a look at this, and what we should find is that we have 3 of the same. Yeah, and they are 3 of the same. So remember when we had the image link itself, we didn't wire it up. We just literally put in the static markup for it, but we can make it work. So image link. Right. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to escape this if a certain condition isn't met. So if model dot content dot image is null. So if that's null, or model dot content dot link is null, then we're just going to come out of this. We're not going to render anything. Save everybody's time. We'll just skip past this one. So what do we need to do? Well, the way it's currently coded is for a bootstrap modal. When you click on it, it will open the modal, but we don't want to do that. We want it to be about links within that go to other areas of the site. So where we've got this portfolio item MX auto, and then we've got inside that caption, I'm just going to change this whole element to an A, and I'm going to put in the href, and this will be at model.content.link.url. Okay, and then we can do target as well. It was at model.content. Oops. Just replace that at model.content.link.target. Okay, and we can put a title on it as well at model.content.link.name. So we've got that on our anchor, and then inside here we've got our other elements where we're rendering the images out inside. So we can just leave that how it is, the first part, and then we can just update the image. So it's image fluid, and then we just want to update this here. Do at model.content.image.url. There we go. And we can also, is it model.content.image.url? Maybe it's a method. There we are. So for the link, it's not a method, it's just a property. But for an image URL, it is a method. And then with the alt text, we can just do at model.content.image.get alt text. There we go. Right. So if we save that, and then we can just load this up on the front end. Right, okay, so it's not quite, it's getting somewhere, but it's just not quite right. So we need to work out what we've done wrong. And so I think for a start, we could do with setting some widths and heights on the image. So let's just do that. So width of 400, height of 290. That's it. And maybe we can use the get crop URL method here to just bring that in a bit, get crop URL. And then we can say 400 by 290. That's what we'll crop the images to. And let's see if that fixes things. So no, it doesn't fix it. So we're doing something wrong, and we need to work out what is the reason why this isn't working, but it's working on the demo site that we've got. So let's just break it down. So I think what I did wrong was I did delete a div. So the div that I deleted, and I also didn't close the A tag. So let's do that for a start. But we need to put in a div around this again. Oh, no, what am I doing there? Make that the A. Oh, why is that doing it? Go away! I hate the fact that it's auto-correcting that. What I might do is just put the extra A in there. Tab that there and then delete that. That should fix that. So there's one problem solved. But then I think we need a div at this level and put that one back in, the one that we deleted. So portfolio item and MX auto. There we go. So now we've wrapped each portfolio item is going to be wrapped in that, and it's going to have an auto width on it. So let's see how this looks. There we go. It's looking special now. So also, because we set the widths to be 4s or 6s, let's just try it with 2 6s. Drag those over, save and publish, and see what it looks like. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. So it didn't adjust the size, but because we've only got 2, it's just taking that into account. And if we wanted to, we could make it so that it would use the column size and things like that. But for now, for this scenario, we don't want it to. We just want it to work nicely. So the same could be achieved if we just had those as 4s, just 2 4s. It's just going to, all we know is it's going to fill it in nicely, whichever size we have it. It's the same thing there. So that's good. And what we can do as well, if I haven't shown you, we can do a rollback. So I want to actually go back to the previous published version where we add that extra element back in. And maybe it was the one before that. So if we go to info, go to rollback, I think it was that one where the columns were 4, yeah, and we added it back in. Save and publish that. So yeah, we've got all 3 of those back. Reload this. There we are. So that's our image links, and we can see where they go off to, and I think that is a good place to end this part of the episode. Let's just have a look at what we've got coming up. So we've done the image links. We've got the call to action to do, we've got the icon link within the call to action, and then we've got the image with caption. So I think that'll be part 3 of episode 6. I know it's ludicrous, but the good thing is it'll all be released all at the same time anyway. It'll all be in order on the playlist, so you don't really have to worry about that. Don't forget there is a GitHub repo for all this where I put all the code, put it in the tags as I've gone along. You can start from the different episodes where that episode left off and then start the next episode. And also don't forget there's a guest book to sign. Come along, say hello. It's still just me at the moment because I've not made this public yet. And if you did want to buy me a coffee, you can do by going to codeshare.co.uk/coffee. But that's just if you really wanted to do that. And yeah, please click on like, subscribe to the channel, share, the video with others, share the playlist, let other people learn about Umbraco. And I look forward to seeing you on the next part of this episode. Thanks a lot. Bye.